Penny Wong, she's been forced to condemn a motion endorsed by the Queensland Labor Party accusing Israel of ethnic cleansing against Palestinians. Senator Wong said the motion, supported by a majority of delegates at the Queensland ALP State Conference, of course attended by the Premier and Anthony Albanese, she says it will not advance the cause of peace. For his analysis and a healthy dose of common sense, I'm joined from Sydney by the leader of One Nation in New South Wales, Mark Latham. Mark, the Zionist Federation of Australia says Queensland Labor are taking their cues from Hamas. Why has Labor turned against Israel?
Well, it's hard to know, Peter, other than this seems to be an iteration of identity politics, judging people by their skin colour, and white-coloured people are automatically bad, and those with people of colour are said to be superior in terms of supporting political causes. That seems to be part of it, and a Labor move against common sense in foreign policy. I mean, there's no way in the world Labor should ever give any encouragement to organisations engaged in terrorism. And the fact that Hamas out of the Gaza Strip was a big part of the recent attacks on Israel, and Israel retaliated. You wouldn't know from the left-wing media that it was Israel that had been under attack and all they were doing was defending themselves. And it sounds like the Queensland Labor Party has been swept up in that lopsided analysis to pick the side of the Palestinians. As some of the Jewish organisations have said, it's like they were reading from Hamas script notes. So it was wrong, and you've got to say, Peter, good on Penny Wong. Good on Penny Wong for taking a stance from the left wing of the Labor Party to basically say this is how crazy the Queensland Labor position is, that Penny Wong has condemned it, and you've got to give her credit for that.
Yeah, I think I do, but she's not the leader, and I'm waiting for Anthony Albanese to speak as loudly as Penny Wong. I want to go to another issue. Down here in Victoria, there's a council on the outskirts of Melbourne. It's forcing its staff to display a rainbow flag in their email signature block to support LGBTIQ people. Those words are getting, those initials are getting longer and longer every time. Melton City Council, this is in the west of Melbourne, issued the edict to all their employees despite 47% of residents in that council area voting no in the same-sex marriage plebiscite. Now, clearly there's a broad range of views amongst residents of the Melton area, but the council is forcing all their workers to have one view. What's your reaction?
Well, what does it mean? What does it achieve to have the rainbow flag on letterheads or on other council symbols? Why would a council say that its frontline symbol represents 2 or 3% of the population, LGBTIQ? Like, isn't proper inclusion to say that everyone in Melton, everyone in the local government area is of equal merit, equal worth, equal attention? The data actually shows the people from LGBTIQ, they tend to have higher income levels, higher levels of employment, higher levels of university education, and certainly higher levels of participation in the media and politics. So it's not the most disadvantaged community you can find. If you want to actually do something on social justice, help the homeless, help people in public housing estate, help remote Indigenous communities that are struggling. So, you know, it's a form of virtue signalling. It's empty, it's divisive, it's quite pathetic.
And also you've got to make the point now that the law absolutely across all issues is equal. I don't understand why the advocacy is needed when the law is there, absolutely, as the protector. Let's go to Britain. Interesting story that I picked up today. Oxford University, one of its most famous colleges, Magdalen, is tearing down a portrait of the Queen because she's a symbol of colonial rule. Now, this is a college with an alumni, Oscar Wilde, C.S. Lewis, Howard Florey. They want to remove the portrait of the Queen from the middle common room. They say to make people feel more welcome. They want inspirational people instead on the wall. Now, I tell you, a woman working in a leadership role all the way through to her mid-90s, that's pretty inspirational to me. If Oxford can't defend the crown, what hope is there?
Well, there's no hope at all. The poor old Queen can't take a trick. Her husband's passed away. The grandson's walked off the reservation, and now she's being taken down from the walls of Oxford. It's hard to believe that this could be happening to someone, a figure to be admired who served her country well for 7 decades through the ups and downs of the British nation. Why does the Queen all of a sudden become a figure to be diminished? I just don't get it, and I say that as a committed Republican, but I think we should admire the Queen and they should put the photo back up.
Spot on, Mark Latham. Brilliant as always. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Peter.